Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. From Smiles to Go by Jerry Spinelli. When I was 5 or 6, a high school kid lived next door. His name was Jim. Jim was always tinkering in his basement. I was welcome, encouraged even, to join him whenever I liked. I would sit on a high stool for hours and watch him. I think he enjoyed having a dedicated audience of one. He always had a jawbreaker in his mouth, and when he wasn't clacking it against his teeth, he kept up a constant mutter about everything he did, as if he were a play-by-play announcer describing a game. And now Jim is soldering the wire to the whatsits. More than anything, I looked forward to Jim saying, "Whoa!" That's what he said when something surprised or astounded him. It didn't happen often, maybe only 1 or 2 whoas a week on average. When I heard one, I would jump down from my stool and nose right in and say, "What, Jim?" And he would explain it to me. Even though I couldn't really understand, still I would feel something, a cool fizzing behind my ears, because I was feeding off of his astonishment. Then one day I had the real thing, an amazement of my own. That day was a little strange to begin with, because when I came down to the basement, Jim wasn't tinkering. He was reading. Watching a person read isn't the most fascinating thing in the world, even if he has a jawbreaker clacking around in his mouth. And after a minute of that, I was ready to leave. But when Jim barked out a "Whoa!" I jumped down and said my usual, "What, Jim?" But he only warded me off with his hand and kept on reading. Every minute or so another "Whoa!" came out, each one louder than the last. Then came 3 in a row. "Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!" "Jim, what?" I screeched and snatched the book away. He looked at me as if he didn't know me. Young as I was, I understood that he was still back in the book, immersed in his amazement. Finally, he said it, one word: "Protons." "What are protons?" I said. He took the book from my hands. His eyes returned to the present. He began talking, explaining. He talked about atoms first, the tiny building blocks of everything, smaller than molecules, smaller than specks. "So small," he said, "millions can fit in a flea's eyes." That got my attention. All right, y'all gotta flip the page. Then he zeroed in on protons. "Atoms may be mostly space," he said, "but a proton is nothing but a proton. Small as an atom is, a proton is millions of times smaller. You could squint till your eyeballs pop out and you'll never see one," he said, daring me to try. "And you know what the coolest thing about protons is?" he said. "What?" I said. He clacked his jawbreaker for a while, building the suspense. "You can't do anything to them," he said. "You can't break them. You can't burn them. You can't blow them up. Atoms you can smash, but you can't smash a proton." "Not even with a steamroller?" I said. "Not even with 1,000 steamrollers." And then he hammered home his point. He took out the jawbreaker and put it on the floor. He took a hammer and smashed it to smithereens. He didn't stop there. He kept smashing until there was nothing but white powder. When he stopped, he grinned at me. "Go ahead, stomp on it." I brought the heel of my shoe down on the tiny pile of powder. "Oh, come on," he said. "Stomp good." I did. I jumped up and down until there was nothing on the floor but a pale mist of dust. He got down on his hands and knees and blew it away. I cheered. "We did it!" He stood. "What did we do?" he said. "We smashed the jawbreaker. We made it disappear." "We sure did," he said. "But what about the protons that made up the jawbreaker? Where are they?" I looked around. "Gone?" He shook his head with a sly smile. "Nope," he said. "The jawbreaker's gone, but not its protons. They're still," he waved his hand around the basement. "Here. They'll always be here. They're unsmashable. Once a proton, always a proton. Protons are forever." The next words just popped from my mouth. No real thought behind them. "Jawbreakers are lucky." He poked me. "Hey, so are you. You're made of protons too." I stared at him. "I am?" "Sure," he said. "Zillions of them. The protons in you are the same as the protons in that jawbreaker, and in that stool, and in a banana, and a sock monkey, and a glass of water, and a star, everything. He threw out his arms. Everything is made of protons. I was getting woozy with information overload. Me and my sock monkeys made of the same stuff? It was too much to digest. So I retreated to the one conclusion I had managed to extract from all of this. So, Jim, I'm unsmashable? He mussed my hair. Yeah, he said. I guess you could sort of put it that way. He laughed and waved the hammer in my face. But don't go trying this on your toe. What is the narrator's primary motivation for continuing to visit Jim? A. He wants Jim to ask him to help with the experiments. B. He enjoys watching Jim manage several tasks at once. C. He thinks spending time with Jim will make him smarter. D. He likes witnessing the moments when Jim is surprised. Okay, listen, Justice, you need to stop. Babe, I'm not kidding. Shh. Hey guys, I'm sorry about that. My husband is just being a goof and he's just messing around with this dog toy. Anyway, 2. Why is Jim's demonstration with the jawbreaker important to the plot? F. It shows the narrator that many scientific concepts are not complicated. G. It allows the narrator to experience a moment of understanding. H. It encourages the narrator to develop his own scientific theory about protons. J. It gives the narrator an opportunity to help Jim with one of his projects. 3. Read the dictionary entry below. Digest. 1. To convert food into absorbable form. 2. To think over in order to absorb. 3. To arrange in a methodical order. Classify. 4. To reduce to a summary. Which definition most closely matches the way the word digest is used in paragraph 28? A. Definition 1. B. Definition 2. C. Definition 3. D. Definition 4. Number 4. Read this sentence from paragraph 4. And he would explain it to me, and though I couldn't really understand, still I would feel something, a cool fizzing behind my ears, because I was feeding off his astonishment. The sensory language in this sentence highlights the narrator's F. Optimism. G. Confusion. H. Excitement. J. Discomfort. 5. What does the simile in paragraph 3 suggest about Jim? A. He wishes he knew someone who shared his passion. B. He approaches his work with intense focus. C. He is interested in both science and sports. D. He usually makes up experiments as they occur to him. 6. The setting is important to the plot because it is where the narrator, F, realizes he is good at scientific investigation. G. Can study with minimal interruptions. H. Has interesting discussions with Jim. J. Works with Jim to solve problems. 7. Which of these is an important idea expressed in the excerpt? A. People must start working towards their goals at a young age to achieve their dreams. B. Honesty and openness allow deep friendships to develop. C. True understanding can take place only through quiet reflection. D. Some people influence the lives of others by introducing them to new ideas. Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. Just a trim. Characters. Lonnie, 13-year-old girl. Asia, 13-year-old girl. Jeremiah, Asia's brother, 11 years old. 1. The curtain rises. Asia and Lonnie are sitting on a couch in Asia's living room reading magazines. Lonnie. Would this haircut look good on me? She turns the magazine around so the page is facing Asia. Asia squeals. Yes, I love the asymmetrical cut for the summer. Lonnie. It's so cool. Raquel Johnson totally rocked this look at the music awards show last week. Have you heard her new song? Asia. Of course. Singing. I'm not going to sing, guys. Sorry. Sometimes you have to find a perfect... Jeremiah enters quickly. Jeremiah, faking panic. Is everything okay? It sounded like someone was hurt. Asia, very funny. Go away. Jeremiah, trust me, I do not want to be here. I'm just getting my baseball cap. He walks to the other side of the room, retrieves his cap, and exits. Lonnie. This style has to be cut flawlessly. Asia. It can't be that hard to copy. There's some layering around your face, but it looks easy enough. Lonnie. I'll call the salon around the corner. Asia. You should let me do it right now. Lonnie. Do you even know how to cut hair? Asia. Yes. My family never goes to the salon. My dad cuts our hair. I've watched him do it 1,000 times. The scissors and apron are upstairs. Lonnie, raising her eyebrows. So, you've never actually cut anyone's hair before? Asia, don't worry. Anyway, why should you pay a salon when I'll do it for free? Lonnie pauses. Fine, but start by just trimming my hair. Then we'll see. Asia, I'll get the scissors. Asia runs off stage. Lonnie sits in a chair, tapping her foot and flipping through a magazine. Asia enters and puts an apron on Lonnie. Asia, this shouldn't take long. Lonnie closes her eyes tightly. Asia holds a thick bunch of Lonnie's hair and puts it between the blades of the scissors. She closes her eyes and cuts. When she opens her eyes, she lets out a deep breath. Lonnie, opening one eye. Is everything okay? Asia, of course. Asia smiles widely as she continues cutting. She sings and snips with gusto. Lonnie sits quietly. After a few minutes, Asia stops singing and stares at Lonnie's hair. Jeremiah enters. Jeremiah. Asia, have you seen my baseball bat? What are you doing? Asia. I'm giving Lonnie a makeover. Jeremiah. Into what? Lonnie sits up straight and stares at Jeremiah. Asia. Go away, Jeremiah. To Lonnie. Don't worry, everything's fine. Jeremiah. Sure, if you want to look like a wild dog. He exits. Lonnie. Can I have a mirror? Asia. Not yet. She stops cutting and holds the magazine next to Lonnie's face. She looks at the magazine and then at Lonnie. She speaks slowly. How would you feel about parting your hair on the left instead of the right? Lonnie, anxiously. What? Why? In the magazine, the girl's hair was parted in the middle. Asia. Relax. She continues cutting Lonnie's hair. I'm just adding some flair. Lonnie. Give me a mirror. Asia. You have to wait until I'm done. She continues cutting. Lonnie. Asia, stop. I want to see my hair. Asia. No problem. I just finished. It's exactly what I was going for. Lonnie stands and walks over to the mirror hanging on the wall. She shrieks. Lonnie. Oh no! I can't let anyone see me like this. Asia. Why not? It's cut short on one side and long on the other. It's just like in the magazine. Well, maybe a little different, but that's a good thing, right? You don't want to copy somebody's look anyway, do you? You're a trendsetter. Lonnie. There is nothing attractive about this. She holds up a mangled cluster of her hair in front of her watering eyes. Asia, frowning. You don't like it? Lonnie. If you think it looks so great, then put on this apron and I'll give you this haircut. Asia. Well, we have different facial structures. You look nice with shorter hair. My face is round. Long hair suits me better. Lonnie. Just admit that you messed up. This haircut is terrible. Asia stares at the ground and says nothing. There's a moment of quiet. Jeremiah enters. Jeremiah. Are you sure my bat isn't it? He stops and stares at Lonnie's hair. He walks to Lonnie and takes off his baseball cap. I think you're gonna need this. He puts the hat on her head and exits. Lonnie. What am I going to do? You ruined my hair. Asia. Look, I'm sorry. Pauses. I'll call the salon and set up an appointment for both of us. I'll get the same haircut as you. We'll be all anyone can talk about. Lonnie. In a good way, I hope. And the next time you get one of your wild ideas, you get to go first. Asia, smiling. That's fair. I'm sure that way I'll give it a little bit more thought. Asia and Lonnie begin sweeping up the hair clippings. Curtain closes. Okay, I want to take a pause here real quick, guys, and remind you that as I read through these questions, you can pause this video at any time, go back through the reading, check the text, and then come back over. So like in question 8, see how it's going to ask you about the stage directions in paragraph 22? Like as I read a question, pause it, go back to where it says, or go back to where you think you can find the text feature and look for it. Okay, 8. Why does the playwright include the stage directions in paragraph 22? F. To imply that Asia is taking the task of cutting Lonnie's hair seriously. G. To indicate that both Lonnie and Asia are nervous about the haircut. H. To reveal that Asia has more experience cutting hair than she said she did. J. To show that Asia is pleased she has a chance to cut someone's hair. 9. Why does Lonnie agree to let Asia cut her hair? A. Lonnie decides that a free haircut from Asia is better than paying for a salon haircut. B. Lonnie trusts that Asia's father has taught Asia how to cut properly. C. Lonnie knows that Asia has access to the right tools for cutting hair. D. Lonnie believes that her hair will look just like the style she wants if Asia cuts it. 10. What does the word gusto mean in paragraph 25? F. Concern. G. Precision. H. Curiosity. J. Enthusiasm. 11. What is the best summary of the play? A. Asia and Lonnie look through magazines and notice a hairstyle worn by a singer they like. Lonnie wants her hair cut in that style, and Asia tells Lonnie that she has watched her father cut hair. Lonnie agrees to let Asia cut her hair. While Asia is cutting hair, her brother comes in and out of the room looking for his baseball bat. Asia finishes Lonnie's haircut, but Lonnie says it is terrible. B. Lonnie sees a hairstyle she likes in a magazine and agrees to let Asia cut her hair. Lonnie worries when Asia won't give her a mirror, and Jeremiah comments on her appearance. Asia tries to improve the haircut, but Lonnie is upset when she finally gets to see it. Asia tries to make Lonnie feel better, and the girls agree to get matching haircuts together at the salon. C. Asia and Lonnie are looking through magazines when they decide they like a singer's hairstyle. Asia suggests she can cut Lonnie's hair to look like the style in the magazine. Asia persuades Lonnie to let her do it by saying she has seen her father cut hair many times. After Asia finishes, the girls plan to go to the salon together to get matching haircuts. D. Lonnie wants a haircut like the one she sees in the magazine. Asia offers to cut her hair for free, but Lonnie agrees to let her. Jeremiah, Asia's brother, makes comments about Lonnie's hair that worry her. When Lonnie finally sees her finished haircut, she blames Asia for ruining it. She tells Asia to put on the apron so that Lonnie can cut her hair with the same style. 12. Why does the playwright include sensory language in paragraph 43? F. To show the reader that Lonnie is overreacting to the situation. G. To allow the reader to better visualize the style of the haircut. H. To help the reader understand how distraught Lonnie feels. J. To tell the reader that Lonnie puts a lot of thought into her hairstyle. 13. Asia's dialogue in paragraph 51 is important because it shows that she A. appreciates having a chance to practice cutting hair. B. is envious of how good her friend's hair looks now. C. prefers having her hair cut by a professional. D. wants to be supportive of her friend. 14. What can the reader infer about Asia and Lonnie based on how the play ends? F. Asia and Lonnie will get into trouble for the mess they made. G. Asia and Lonnie will have their hair cut only by professionals in the future. H. Asia and Lonnie will continue to be friends despite what has happened. J. Asia will choose a hairstyle different from the one Lonnie chose.